We're going to be looking at John chapter 14, and starting at verse 1, Jesus is talking about, you believe in God, but believe in me also. And he goes on that he's preparing a house in his Father's mansion for us. And we get to verse 6 and 7, and it says this. It says, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you've known the Father also. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Jesus says he is the way, the truth, and the life. And what that means in the original language is that he is the way, the only truth, the only life. He is the one that we trust. He is the one that we follow. He is the one that we let go of everything else that we are clinging to in order to find the way, in order to follow him. We are letting go of everything else. He is the pin in our GPS, right? This is where we are. This is where we want to go. That is the path that we follow. And that is what our Christian life is about, is in following him. Sometimes we get a little off track and we just have to stop. We have to recalculate. We have to re-navigate to follow him again and get back on track. Every other road that we may take, every other road that we may find leads us away from Christ. He is the only path to follow. We also need to really kind of get comfortable with the discomfort of that exclusionary statement that he is the truth and he is the life and the only way to the Father. Because churches are often criticized, culture often criticizes Christianity, saying that it is too discriminating. That more roads should lead to God. We should be more open, more accepting. But Jesus was very discriminatory in his statement that he is the only way. And we need to be comfortable with that idea, that there is no other way except through Christ. We do need to be inclusionary in the sense that we need to, like Jesus went with tax collectors, he met with prostitutes, he met with, sinners of all kinds, right? But it was them that walked away changed, not him. And so we need to be inclusionary in the sense that we want to share the gospel with everybody, regardless. We have all been sinners and needed Christ in our life. And so that is the message that we want to bring. Not a message of condemnation. You're already condemned. We want to bring a message of hope, of life, of truth. We want to lead people to Christ and away from embracing or accepting sin in their life. Christianity is discriminatory. God is discriminatory because he sets the conditions of a relationship with him. We don't have the right to set the conditions on a relationship with him. And God is love. Jesus is love, but he sets those terms. Paul repeatedly emphasized that salvation is accomplished on the basis of God's grace and through our faith. Good works and human effort, our best intentions will never get us there. Think if we had a terminal disease, right? It doesn't matter that we don't want the disease. It doesn't matter that we are in denial that we have this thing, right? The only thing that's going to cure that disease is the cure itself. And that's Christ. That's the cross. That's the resurrection that we celebrate. That he has now conquered sin, he has now conquered death, and he has offered us eternal life if we should accept it. And I do want to just clear up one last thing is, I think our culture, and sometimes even filters into the church, is the idea that the human beings by nature, right, we are neutral. We're neutral. And either God accepts us or he condemns us. But the truth is, before we know Christ, we are enemies of God. It says we're enemies. We are like the peasants who revolted against the king and came and stormed the castle. And we have no right to ask for grace or mercy or forgiveness when we have failed to overthrow him. It is only the King's mercy that says, here, I will accept you into my kingdom. I will accept you into my community. But you have to incorporate yourself with my kingdom. And that's what Jesus was talking about when he was talking about us being grafted into the vine. We have to become part in him and not force our way against his kingdom in a revolt. We are guilty, we are condemned already, and it is only the grace of God that is going to save us. And that is the message for this, is we want to make sure that we are sharing the gospel with everyone we know and everywhere we come. Share Christ wherever we go, because that is the message of hope and life and truth and salvation. There is no other way.